Park Commissioners meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order and let the record show that all members are present. And if everyone's had, I'm sorry, everyone's present except Jessica Lawler. I knew there was someone. If everyone's had a chance to look at the July 10th minutes, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes from the July 10th meeting.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Okay, under old business tonight, we have Kevin Krulik with the project update.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Project updates for tonight. We'll start off with some of the road projects, just mentioning those because they have trail connections involved with them. First off will be Fordyce, which will provide that eastern connection from the East Street Trail out to the new elementary school, and then hopefully someday parts north, south, and beyond. That's moving forward. We're in the middle of water utility construction and getting ready to switch over to some storm sewer work. But essentially the road is closed between Grant Street and John Bart Road, except for local traffic. And we're just working our way through there. And we're hoping to have the road back open before the end of the year. But we've had some recent utility conflicts that we weren't expecting that we're working through. So that schedule may be sliding a little bit, but we'll have to see here as the work progresses. Witt Road is not out there for a little while, but also bringing that up. It's going to add another crucial trail connection, connecting sidewalks along Lafayette Avenue, north on Witt Road, all the way up to Austin Drive. So that will connect the Marley subdivisions, the Hickory Meadows, the Rolling Meadows subdivisions. All those will now have good pedestrian connections that will lead people all the way back into downtown. Right now, we're just working through our environmental documents for through the federal environmental process, and we are not scheduled to be under construction until 2027. Noble Street is a little even further out than that. This is scheduled for construction in 2029. We've completed our side of the contract or the consultant selection, which would be Shrewsbury, and we're just working through NDOT and all the documentation we need to get in front of them and get approved before we can sign a contract, which would be sometime in September. And that does include significant sidewalk and trail connections along Noble Street between 39 and 32, as well as connections from Noble Street down through and onto the Big Four as it goes through Admiral Longley. Active living programs, happy to report that all of our wayfinding signage is now complete, or if it's not complete, there may be some final touch-ups, but it's all the main signs have been installed. So look for those as you drive around the city. I think they turned out real nice, and hopefully that helps people to find their way around town. Stone Eater Bike Park, a lot of good activity since we last met out there. Essentially at this point, all the trail construction is now complete. So that is 5.6 miles of all-weather stone cross-country trails and 2.1 miles of natural surface skill trails. So all those trails wrapped up construction on Sunday, and that contractor has now demobilized, and the designer has signed off on all the work that they've done. We had some good, before they left town though, we had some good test sessions last week. First off, we started off with looking at helping to train DPW and park staff on what maintenance looks like on these trails. We had training sessions for maintenance on city staff, as well as we had a call out for volunteers that may be needed down the road. And we did that training on Thursday and again on Friday morning out there. We also held our second test event. This was a smaller group than the first time. We had about 20 people in attendance. These are people, primarily coaches and league riders. Again, very positive feedback, just like the last time. And this time, actually, we had no comments of things that they wanted to see changed. So we had a few comments the first time that we addressed, and everyone was really happy with the changes that were made. And we're really happy with that process we went through. At this point, we were receiving seating proposals up until about 2 weeks ago. And we had we went after 3 contractors pursuing for proposals, Stantec, Wayne Kramer, and John George, and the third one was Williams Creek. Happy to report that Wayne Kramer and John George were the lowest proposal we received at $31,600, and this is for the planning of the turf grass areas. And they've been out working for the last week or so, getting that bed for seeding, and should be seeding probably sometime next week. There's just a little bit more working of the soil they need to do, and with all the rains, it also needs to dry out just a touch. And then we've also been working with our friends at the Soil and Water Conservation District. They were on site with people from Purdue and other botanists last week, taking an inventory of the sites. They were extremely pleased with the amount of variety of plant and tree species they found. Also, they did find some non-native invasive species that they're helping us to develop a plan to get rid of. But they were really, really surprised, they said, to see that kind of species variety out there. So that was really neat to see. We're also working with the Soil and Water Conservation District on plans for additional prairie seeding and overseeding. And we're working with the DPW on having them come out with their equipment and borrowing equipment from the Soil and Water Conservation District to do that seeding probably in the next 2 weeks. There's the Old Street Garage Master Plan, just developing surveys at this point, so nothing really new to report. Pickleball court construction. We do have proposals now in hand from Leslie Coatings for these are for budget purposes, really, to replace. This is a full removal and reconstruction of the pickleball courts at Memorial Park. The total on that one was $156,440, and at Abner Longley Park, that resurfacing operation was $199,950. So we're at about $350. We're still awaiting lighting budgets, lighting proposals to come in on that, so that we can put a full package together. But we're moving forward, putting that project together for quoting and bidding later this summer. And those will be full public bids because those are over $150,000. Fishing pier construction. Happy to report that the mayor has signed and we have now issued all notices to proceed for the trail connection, the guardrail, and the fishing pier. I don't have a schedule yet, but we are working with the contractors to get that moving forward. But as of this point, everything now is in their hands. We've completed all of our contractual obligations on our end. Big Four Trailhead, Portalet Station. We're still working on that. If you might recall, we had one bid that was submitted when we opened bids on that back on the 8th of July, and it was way over our budget. Like $600,000 was the total, and we were trying to keep it under $300,000. So we're working on that. We're probably going to do some redesign, some simplification, probably break out that into different bid packages for the parking improvements, the trail improvements, and then instead of an enclosed structure for the portalet containment, we'll probably do something similar to what we did downtown with that heavy-duty steel fencing around the portalet enclosure down there. This will eliminate a lot of the trades that were really driving up the price, like electrical, masonry, roofing. We'll simplify that project. So we hope to get those bid packages out for quoting here shortly, and hopefully be back to you next month with some results there. Reese Park parking improvements. That is now complete. All the pavement is complete. The seating's complete. The striping's complete. I think it turned out pretty nice. So John, his crew, and myself, we just need to kind of do a final walkthrough, see if we've got any issues with those. I'm also trying to, I made a couple of calls about fencing quotes. People must be busy. I can't seem to get fencing quotes. So I've called a couple other people to see if we can't get black coated chain link fence along the end of the parking to help keep balls from going out in the street. So we're working on that. That will just be a quote, and we can a quoting operation, and we can release that and move that forward as well. Also working with our team at Kramer on the pathway and lighting project at Abner Longley Park. Hoping we've received good feedback from City Council that they will also fund that in addition to the pickleball court projects for next year. So. Let's see, on our paving projects, the only one I really want to bring to your attention is Anderson Lane. We've been doing some of our updates and upgrades to our ADA ramps in the last couple of weeks. That will continue. This is all getting ready for the resurfacing and the separated bike lane and trail that we'll be constructing up there in the next couple of weeks. And with that, I think that's all I have, other than what other questions or concerns I might be able to address.
I have a question. I'm going from memory, so
Yeah.
pardon me if I'm not on this. Did you tell us at one time that there's an event planned in October at the Stone Eater Bike Park?
There is, yeah. So we've not tentatively, we've set the grand opening date for October 25th. That is a Friday, and that is the Friday before the NICA race that is held on Saturday and Sunday. And so that the way NICA runs their events, they come in, they set up their operations on usually Saturday morning. There's test riding, practice riding for the teams Saturday evening. And then on Sunday morning is when they do all the races, and then everything's usually torn down and they're out of there by 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So we're kind of planning a whole weekend of, ribbon cutting, inaugural first rides, all those things on Friday, and then rolling right into NICA weekend. The park will remain open during the NICA weekend. There may be some trails that would have restricted access, but the park will be open to the public during that. And it's a free event if people want to come check out the kids in that competition. So,
Great.
but
That's
yep.
good.
Put that on your calendar.
So
the
that's
weekend.
the first big thing, really.
That is the
Yeah?
first big
Okay.
thing. We think we'll actually probably do a soft opening before. So I've been encouraging people that are interested to follow our Facebook page, like and follow us on Facebook. When we're ready to open early, we will, and we will announce it there. Really, that's going to come down to when we have proper signage. We need to make sure we have park rules and disclaimers and things like that up. We need to also make sure we have all the trails properly signed from a direction and warning standpoint, rating systems. We need to continue on with our seating operations. So I'd say in a couple of weeks, maybe as we get to September, we'll probably be looking for a soft opening that we'll do there and open it to the public. So as soon as we can, as soon as we feel it's safe for everybody and that we can properly operate the park.
When events like that are hosted, that are, a lot of people and all that, what kind of burden do you expect that to put on the Parks Department for cleanup and all those kinds of things?
Yeah, I've been involved with NICA for a couple of years, so I'm really pretty impressed with how they run their events. They really kind of operate on this leave no trace. So although they put up a lot of race ribbons and flagging and things like that, all that is picked up, all that is taken with them. They take their trash with them. They're really pretty good about that. I think primarily the work is probably up until that time, and from a parks standpoint, just making sure the trails are in good condition and ready for that riding. But the weekend of the event, there's really not a whole lot of need. I think probably to check on them as they're having an event there would be appropriate. But there's not a lot of operational needs that the Parks Department would have. They pretty much run their own show.
No security needs or anything like that?
They do. I don't think security is usually an issue there just because there's people in the park that weekend, and they do also contract with local ambulance services to have ambulance service and EMTs on site. They almost never need them, but it's one of those things, right? You don't want to be sorry. Yeah, I think you'll find that they put on a really professional event. Everything is safe and secure. The kids know where they're supposed to be, where not supposed to be. And it's really a pretty smooth operation.
What age range
This is
participate?
6th grade through 12th grade.
Oh, okay.
So
Middle school and high school.
not the littlest of littles, but these are kids that are a little bit more, well, at times they're more manageable, right?
You can reason with them, hopefully.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh. And they set rules like you can only ride on the course. If you're caught off the course, you're disqualified from competing. They do things like that to make sure the kids are under control. They set limits on where they can be, even though the park is open. They'll be off limits areas and that comes down to their insurance, their safety precautions, just the way they operate things. So, yep.
Football courts. You said you're looking up estimates on lights. I mean, I haven't been out there in a bit, but the lights we have are nice. Is there any reason we're not just going to continue using those?
At Abner Longley, you're right. We are looking to replace those. The ones at Memorial Park, I think we're just looking to paint those light poles. So, yeah, just to spruce them up a bit. So it's really not a whole lot of lighting. So we're at 350 now. I don't know where all those lighting operations will come in. I'm always shocked at how expensive lighting and electrician work is, especially when you get to that high stuff. I think we had set a budget of 600,000. So I think we're in a pretty good shape to be under that, when it comes in, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I have any doubt that we'll have those numbers for you at the next meeting.
I have a question on the trail that, or walking path or whatever through Abner Longley. When you're putting that package together for budget, is there lighting with that?
Yes, it would include walking
Okay.
trails, lighting. I think that's what we
Separate them out. Yeah.
right. But what
See what we can get funded.
we'll need to talk about too, like, benches, trash cans, things like that. I think it
Right.
ought to be a complete project. It will be I would recommend it be an itemized project. And if it comes in high and, we can get it under budget by not buying trash cans or minimizing some lighting, we can think about things like that. But,
And the bike park sounds great. I'm glad it's coming around. But are we going to evaluate before budget time, maintenance on that? So if we need to put like another salary in the park budget or?
yeah, it's my understanding. Well, and we've been doing those operations, and that's why there was the training last week to really put boots on the ground and have a better understanding of what it looks like and what it takes. And I believe John is already requesting those additional salary employee positions for next year.
And because so many of your events are overtime, is there any way we could get overtime pay in the park budget?
I don't know.
That is not, do we have a little bit? Yeah.
No, I'm not really intimately familiar with the parks budget. I know the DPW guys have a line item in their budget to cover overtime expenses, like say for snow events and things like that.
Right.
They do try to keep, the average worker is not working overtime throughout the year. It's only when they have those special emergency events after hours.
Right. And I've said this every year, though, that I think the park should have overtime because it's kind of hard when you get to the comp time because of the timing of everything. You have
Yeah.
the 4th of July, and I feel bad because I know if the street department's called out, they get on the 4th,
Yeah.
but they don't.
And a lot of times, I think they will try to use comp time, even if they know like there's a snow event coming
Right.
in,
Right.
they may send everybody home half a day the day before, things like that. Yeah.
And I think comp would be an option, but I know sometimes because of events in the park, it's hard for
It is. Yeah.
people to take the comp time, and some of them would, prefer the overtime also. And I'm just thinking this is another thing that possibly you might need park employees on the weekends or
Yeah.
something.
I certainly, just like anytime, you have park employees that check the parks Saturday and Sunday. They
Right.
check trash cans, they check the restrooms, they check the pools,
Absolutely.
everything. I don't think it'd be drastically different than what you're already doing. So I'm not sure. I'm sure John could speak to how you're covering those expenses, but yeah, I don't think this is not going to require round the clock.
No,
Efforts,
no.
but yes, it would require checking in on the weekends on those. Well, I would assume it would require checking in on the weekends, event or not. I think that's just how. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's pretty much how you operate parks already. So.
Right. And checking in, I understand. I think they're all really reasonable with that. But I'm just talking about if they needed to be someplace or, just to have I would like to see the line item in the park budget. If
Agreed.
we can look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And then that would be up to the supervisors and director what they take comp time or
Absolutely.
overtime.
Yeah.
So that was something that I was kind of wondering. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
That's all.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I can just make a little comment. We do have overtime money in the budget. It's $5,000 is what we have budgeted. Most of the guys do choose to do the comp time, but we do have $5,000. If they choose to take overtime money, they can do such for snow events and things like that. Our weekends, though, it's pretty much, we give them time and a half for their efforts on the weekends, unless they miss if they don't, they have to work 40 hours prior to,
Right.
just like anything, you have to work. If you take a day off, then, you don't get the time and a half, you get straight time.
So you do have
We
some
have,
overtime in the
we've had it,
budget?
and from time to time, guys will want the time and a half, but they really like that comp time and getting days off. And
Okay.
it's made clear when we hire them on, hey, we don't have a lot of monies, but if you want monies, we can pay you time and a half. Yeah.
So you feel like you have sufficient coverage?
I do for now. I think as our park system grows, like Kevin talked about an employee, I do have one scheduled to hire next year. Kevin and I discussed this bike park's a whole different animal than anything that we take care of. Maintenance is going to be needed daily on it, compacting the dirt, we have to run a steamroller over the gravel quite often, a 5,000 pound, which I believe the street department has a 2,000 pound, which we'll utilize that equipment on the actual 5 mile trail, not the 2 skill trail. That's different. Need to be raked. Again, the maintenance that we learned from these world-class builders and contractors, learned a lot last Thursday and Friday of what it's going to take to maintain it. Billy, the 2 supervisors, Joel McMasters and Logan Banks were out there along with several of the parks employees. We might put a specific ad for a person that actually has a skill of riding trails. They definitely will know more than we will know and have a better understanding of what acceptable and not acceptable riding. We walk the trail. None of us are mountain bike riders. So, it will be interesting. The worries that I have, that our concerns are dirt bikes getting out there, ATVs, what have you, and damaging the property. Billy went out Monday as checking the property. Deer had been through there and done a little damage. So, and right now we have it barricaded off. However, they're driving around the barricades and people are riding it. So there's people very excited about getting out at that bike park, but it was really great to have these 2 events and to talk to the designer, which we've been in touch with for 5 years, I think. The builders did an outstanding job. It's really neat. There's some really, the skills trail, not going to catch me on it, but other than that, Kevin and those guys can ride it, not me. NICA Group has been very good to work with, been working with them for several months. I'm sure Kevin's been dealing with them a lot longer. That event looks very exciting. They're really excited. This can be one of the most unique and accessible bike parks, is what I'm hearing. A lot of them shut down with this stone and things. It'll be open quite a bit of the season. Very few times will you see it shut down. So it is exciting. Still learning, as all of us are, and we'll know better about our maintenance and what we're going to hire, what we will need after we do a year of it next year. So we're kind of learning on the job. We'll finish it out this fall and really learn of what we need. But we do have one person, I put in for the budgets to hire one person for next year. Obviously, the street department garage won't be built yet, so I don't need a person for that. But we'll have to send 2 people out at a time at the bike park also, just for safety purposes, to make sure if anybody does get injured, somebody's there to make a call or to help them out. So that's all I had on that part. If that helps you, Ms. Gross.
Yes, and I wasn't aware that we had put in overtime, but there is overtime.
Yes,
Okay.
last year, after you had said something last year, put $5,000 in the budget last year, they approved it. We really didn't tap into it at all. And same thing again this year. We haven't. Snow, I think we might have tapped into $500, $700, something like that, for if you wanted it for snow removal or issues like that.
Well,
It is available
I want to
for-
make sure it
yeah.
is available because as we grow, I know we're going to
Oh,
grow
absolutely.
slowly, and I just want to make sure it's available.
And said we work 7 days a week cleaning shelters, cleaning the restrooms. I mean, we mop them every day. They're the best, cleanest restrooms along with all the shelters. And nothing's going to be, yeah, like Kevin said, well, we check all our parks out 7 days a week. So that won't change.
Fine. Yes, thank you. And we're ready for the
Ready for the
director's
director's report. Okay. July was a very busy month. The weather is warm, which drove the pool attendance up, as well as all the activities we had with the 4th of July activities, the carnival. Memorial Park was hopping. There were also several downtown events that we assist with. We've removed several trees and ground stumps throughout the parks. Storms brought down several trees, if you remember those big storms. I tell you, the big four just takes a beating when we have those. So I think we took down 15 at one storm and 12 at another. They're way back in the thicket, so until they fall down, we don't remove them. Pretty hard to get to. Maintenance also installed 3 memorial benches. We have, I think, 3 more to place. We're putting those on concrete pads and putting them right up next to it. That way we don't deal with mulch and they're accessible to everyone. Also raised the tree canopies throughout the park. Our guys did a lot, but we had ARC come out this summer. They all finished up last Tuesday. Helped us out tremendously with picking up sticks, things that we just don't take the time or consumes a lot of time. They helped us water flowers, pull weeds, cleaned out trash cans, power washed them, painted them, along with helped us raise some of the canopies. And I just can't tell you enough how we appreciate the ARC. Again, Brett Craig's mother comes out and helps us. She's really helped out our person that takes care of our flower beds. She's learned a lot from her. She's a master gardener. I want to thank your mom. When you see her, we thank her all the time. She's very great. We're going to have an exchange this fall too, where people can pull lilies or whatever and have an exchange. And that's a pretty good idea. We've tried it before. We're going to try it again this year. But she initiated that idea again. We have hired 2 new maintenance members. We've been 3 down about most of the summer, so it's really nice to have some help too. I don't think you can see it with our work efforts, but yeah, we've been 3 down. We hired Austin Hamilton and Austin Swafford, both started last week, and they've been great to work with. Also, both are from Lebanon, and they're making a big impact on our team, so it's really great to have some help. And they love this hot weather, I'm sure. We met with Play Pro's representative, Sean Bollinger. He's from up the road at Danville, but he's also an inspector. He's the representative from Play Pro. Earlier this week, Kevin got to pop in for a little bit too. I pulled him into a meeting, which he just loves. We were told the new playground equipment in Abner Longley Park will be here this Friday, or shipped this Friday. Doesn't mean it'll be in, but it'll be in soon. We'll be installing that at Abner Longley. We'll be ripping the old playground out, and it'll be on social media when we do all this. Installation will be set sometime in September. There again, also the new disc golf baskets have been delivered. We haven't installed. We have 2 more. I know Shirley's been on that one, very inquiring about that and inquisitive, and those will be installed soon. I guess they put something about our disc golf on the Indy Disc Golf website, and I'm getting all kinds of responses now. They're actually giving me input. I'm meeting with somebody Friday to go over kind of a group that they played the course to give us a different idea. We haven't installed everything permanently. That way we can get their ideas and change up holes. I'm not a disc golf player, and these guys really love it. They loved our old course, and they're going to help us out with those ideas. We can design stuff and put it out there. They actually play it and know what to expect, and they're really excited about it. So we're getting closer to that, to actually putting the temporaries in and then seeing if we have any more feedback. But we will be switching up a couple of those placements. The light pole and base, I think, Diane, you were asking about that. That's going on Euland Drive, there by the Northeast Street entrance, the sidewalk that crosses. Finally got the pole and the base in. The base been in for a while, but the pole came in. We will be installing that. Already notified the contractor to install it, the electrician, and he will be there in the next couple weeks to install that. Got a new bike rack. I think you were inquiring about that also. That's been placed out there. Not really placed. We set it out there, and we'll talk to Brett and company and see where they'd like it, where it's most effective. But it'll be close to that new pavement that looks beautiful out there. Triangle Asphalt did a great job. Finally, our maintenance department received instruction, like I was saying, on the maintenance of Stone Eater. It was so informative and very appreciative. I also wanted to thank Steve Day. He did a nice job, Triangle Asphalt out at Reese Park. But we've had a few accidents out on our Big Four trail. There's about 2.5 miles that have that slag steel that haven't been redone. It's the old trail from 15 years ago. Needless to say, it pops. This slag steel collects moisture, makes the asphalt pop. We have to go out and grind it down. What we do is mark it with fluorescent paint for the bikers. We've had several accidents in the last 6 months. A councilman was just writing down this week and boogered himself up pretty good. No broken bones, but not only his pride, but he was injured also. Steve Day, I called him. Steve went out that afternoon, ground out. There were 3 issues that we had. Looking in with the superintendent to buy maybe a piece for our skid steer that we can put and grind this on our own. It's awful nice, though. Steve Day didn't ask for any money. He said, "Oh, let me go get it," because he's concerned too. Just wanted to do a shout out to him. Very nice to have a hometown guy that will pop out there and cares like that. Programs and events. The month of July was busy with different programs. Our July swim lessons ended on a positive note. All kiddos received their certificates and treat bags for completing the classes. It was a pretty good, we have a good group of lifeguards that did outstanding training. Our mother-son pool party was hit. And we had a great weather. Obviously, we had about 150 moms and sons during the event, and guests enjoyed swimming, eating, and playing limbo with some other games. We look forward to next year's event. Sage Yoga hosted several free yoga classes and is hosting more this month as well. Follow our Facebook page for more information. They really enjoy it out there. It's pretty tranquil. So I've only interrupted them once and got yelled at. Freedom Church will be hosted their 2024 they hosted it a couple Saturdays ago, that serve day. It was an amazing, once again, the event helped so many in our community, and blessed to be a part of it. They are able to hand out several free school supplies, backpacks, I think 175, 190 maybe. Unbelievable. And then they made sure that the kids that didn't have them received them later, got on a list. Everything from eye care, free lunch, free admission to Seashore, for the whole day, and a lot more. I just can't tell you how great that is for our community, and to see the need and those needs being taken care of. It's just great. Couldn't ask for anything better. Recently announced our Daddy-Daughter Dance, which will be held on Saturday, August 24th from 6 to 8. Dance is hosted on the Seashore Water Park pool deck. You can visit our website or give our office a call for more information. It's $25 per couple, $5 for additional child. The Battle Barbecue coming up this Saturday, put on by the Boone County Cancer Society. It'll be held this Saturday, August 10th at Memorial Park. And you can come anytime between 5 and 7. I'd say get there early if you want some pork, and enjoy a great evening. All proceeds benefit the cancer patients in our community, and it's just something outstanding. You'll see how big the park is packed that day. You need to drive by and come and enjoy and get some nice pork on. You're Not Alone will be hosting their 5K walk run in Memorial Park this coming Saturday morning. Participants will start near the Her Cabin. You can visit their social media sites for more information. Our 2024 Pickleball League is now open for registration. Cost is $30 per team, and games are played on Thursday evenings. Starting at 6 p.m. It's doubles league, and all teams will play each other, no age, gender, or divisions. Visit our website to register or give our office a call or stop in. Lebanon Youth Football, Lebanon Youth Soccer are both starting back up with their leagues this fall. Abner Longley and Reese Park will both be busy, so please be extra careful while in the parks. And good luck to all the participants, and thanks for all the volunteers that we have. A couple other things. We had Security Pro out. There are security cameras. We did get an installation of facial recognition as they come into the park. That will keep the people that are banned from the park or undesirables from will receive notice right away. Also, Joe LePage is working on some communication efforts through AI, which will help him be able to find out who's coming in our community for all these different events like the Eclipse. I'll have those numbers for you probably soon, but he hired on a company. And it's interesting. I talked to Security Pro, and they're looking through AI too, all the technology that we have, which right now, when we locate somebody that is doing something bad in the park, we have to go from camera to camera physically, and sometimes it's hard to identify where the car went. Now you can actually say a guy with a blue shirt, white shorts, and it'll follow him throughout the park. There's just technology that are integrating and staying up on. It's amazing what this AI is capable of. It thinks a lot faster. But the tracking is going to be neat for not only the bike park, but for any events that we have to find out what's bringing these people in our water park, what's bringing them in, where are they coming from, the different communities. And it'll be nice to see those numbers come in. And don't know how they do it. I know if you accept whatever, or you open up your phone, it tracks you. That's all I gotta say. I have no idea how it works, again, above my head, but it's amazing what they can do with this technology, and the city's moving forward with all that. So it's really, really good.
Final date for the water park this year?
Final date's the 20, it's that weekend before Memorial Weekend. So it's 25th, I believe, right in there. I should know that number. It's on our website and Facebook page.
Labor Day.
Weekend
before
prior,
Labor
yeah,
Day
yeah, it
weekend.
is. It's right there at the end of the month. Again, we've had a great season. These kids have done an outstanding job. We do exit interviews as they leave because we try and get them before they go back to school to find out who's coming back. Really had a lot of good input from the kids. I think a concession stand looks good. We might need quite a few lifeguards, which is, I think we hired 17 this year. Thomas has his training, so we can do that in-house. Looking forward to it. A lot of kids are coming back, going to try and bring some friends on. We had quite a few saves throughout the season. It seemed like parents didn't want them to have the safety equipment that they needed, and they drift off. A couple of kids were pretty shaken up on a couple of incidents, but thank goodness the kids are everybody's safe season. We have several weekends left. Kids went back to school. It's so busy when that pool's going, you really can't get. So Tuesday was a beautiful day, even though I know it's tough for a lot. It was nice, and we're finally getting caught up on a lot of things that I got to say, our park staff is just amazing, though. The way they handle themselves, and the exit interviews, just sitting in with those and knowing these kids and what all they're doing. And we have a lot of good employees at the park. I just can't tell you how fortunate we are to have such great help. And that's all I had.
Have you heard anything from the people in Montgomery County on the disc golf? They very active.
This is on some indie disc golf channel is what's gone out, and they've communicated that we want input on our disc golf. So no, I have not heard, unless it's the guy that I'm meeting Friday. I don't know where they're from. I'll find out more when I talk to them. I've had guys from Lafayette, a couple from here, and I think I think I have 2 emails that I have to return from today. Getting a lot of input, and I'm finally going to cut them off and say, okay, got enough input now. They talked about, some of them have talked about a 9-hole course and then making it all accessible 9-hole course. And I thought that was an interesting aspect. I've never heard of it. So I'm looking into that to see if that's even how we could do it, how we could pull it off where they can actually have accessibility. I think it's a great idea, but I don't know how I can pull it off. So I'm going to find out if any other communities have that, and if they do, how they do it. Yeah.
I'm a member on this Montgomery County, and so I'll look.
You a
through-
disc golfer, Shirley?
No, my,
Okay. I'm going to say,
he's kind of got me, he's what got me interested.
Yeah.
Of course, right now, he was so busy all summer with Legion baseball that he didn't travel to any of these.
oh, there you go.
contests.
Yeah, they all bring different discs. There's putters, there's drivers, yeah, it's crazy. They have little bags that they pull around. It's getting used right now. It's really interesting. They'll be out all seasons. I think, Brett, didn't you play? Aren't you a disc golfer? Oh, I thought you were. Okay. All
Maybe I
right.
can get him to teach.
There you go. It's fun. The exercise, get them out. We got a lot of good things coming down the pike, as Kevin said. I think we need to, when we do those bids, like at Abner Longley, you were talking about the lighting, that needs repaired. We have lighting, but it needs better lighting. And I think we need to look at a tennis court or 2 down there when we do these alternate bids to find out. There's no lit tennis courts. The ones at the high school, there's no lights. Do we want to offer that? I think we do, don't we? I don't know.
Lights, there's no
Yeah, you
lights
used to.
now.
I don't believe so. Not anymore. And if they do, they aren't going to be on when people want to play. And we were actually having some tennis players. I know pickleball's crazy. It's always busy, but we've had quite a few. Every time I go down to Southside, it seems like, 2, 3 times a week, I see somebody playing on those courts.
The last 3 Fridays, there's been 2 couples playing at 5:30 in the morning at Memorial
Yes.
Park playing pickleball.
Yeah, we had to turn on the lights. There's timers on there, and it's kind of difficult, but we got the timers set up so they can do it. There's also a group that comes in about 2:30 in the morning. Yeah, that's interesting too. Yeah, they kind of use their car lights, and it's like, yeah, hey, more power to them. And I haven't had any complaints from the neighbors, our neighboring on Uland Drive. Most of them I've spoke to about our lighting, because if we change it at anything, when we put the War Memorial in, I didn't know there's light pollution, but somebody on Camp Street, we had to adjust our lighting on the War Memorial because it was hitting there. Something.
So pretty though.
It is.
Really is very
It's neat to
pretty.
light it up
Yes.
in our basketball courts. I mean, it's been busy all summer. It's kind of sad to see the kids go, but boy, it sure was relaxing Tuesday. I'll just tell you that. Yeah, it's been a long summer. I think 55. I'll have the numbers for you soon on how many, probably at the end of the season, but I'm sure it's well over 50. I didn't expect that many Monday. I thought everybody'd be getting ready to go back to school. Wrong. Oh my gosh, we ran out of everything. Yeah, it was flying out. I think we went through 25 pizzas. It was crazy. And yeah, because that's a lot. Normally a normal day is 7, 8 pizzas. Yeah, ridiculous. And everybody, but it was 95 degrees too. So
Yeah, until today, it's been pretty
yeah.
hot.
And we're still having people stop into the park going, why aren't you open? It's like, we don't have any, with their kids. There was a line out there Tuesday morning. I had to go out and say, sorry, we're not opening. And it is what it is.
From other communities, maybe?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. It is what it is. It's a great asset to us. We're doing quite a few things on it, training somebody else. We had a couple people leave, go to different departments. They're staying with the city, but these 2 new guys we brought on really good. So yeah, we're about full staff again, which helps a lot.
Thanks to you and your staff for all you all do.
They do a
Yeah.
good
Great.
job.
Thank
Thank you. Kevin and Derek spoke today too, to the healthy communities, and did that. And Kevin on the bike park, and I think Derek Warren on the Big Four Trail. I think Derek told me is $7 million is what we've spent in grant money and all that to beef up our Big Four Trail. And I said, yeah, but we need more money for maintenance. And he said, well, we spent about $2.5 million, but that was that grant money that we from Sarum Plant Road and repaired those. We have about 2.5 miles of Big Four Trail that we'd really like to repair and replace, but it's $1 million a mile. I mean, basically is what you can plan on. And, you know, we need $2.5 million. So any donations out there, we would accept those, but we'll eventually get it.
Do you happen to know how frequently the trail is patrolled?
No.
I've seen patrols on it
Yeah,
at
they-
times when I've been biking
they
and
do.
stuff, but I wondered how frequently.
The police, I don't know lately. I know that they were going down at least once a week is what they were doing. We don't have the homeless camps that we used to. I think we've had 4 this summer is all where we try and relocate them and find them some housing or help them out. In all our parks, we have those issues. Yeah, but no, I think everything seems to be going smooth. We got a lot of events coming up. This community build that we have in September will be very interesting. Again, Kiwanis gave us $36,000 as part of to help us out with that. Real excited. They're real excited about coming and helping us build it. Yeah, I think Billy's got instructions so thick of what all we have to do to prepare to get it all ready, but really excited about it. There you go.
Hey.
Any questions, anything? Okay, good, thank you.
Thank you. Hey, if everyone's had a chance to look over the claims, I'd entertain a motion to approve the claims.
Make a motion.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second? Okay, one of you. Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. If there's nothing else to come before the board tonight, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you for joining us this evening.